Hello and welcome to SkySwitch University. In this session, we want to cover call recording. So on the document site, we'll navigate to WebCentrix and how-to articles. And I want you to find the call recording article. Now, the reason I'm opening the doc is because you'll need to follow the doc and understand it, and I'll jump back in it and out of it to show you what we're doing. But you'll find in the doc that there are 5 different ways to activate call recording. Number 1, if you want call recording across a whole domain, an entire domain, you'll need to open a trouble ticket and request that through our support. And they will be able to turn on call recording across the whole domain. The second way to activate call recording is in a call queue. After creating a call queue, or during creating the creation of a call queue, you're going to find that you can set up. So we're going to navigate call recording, and we're going to navigate to Manage PBX. We'll go into Domains. Going to find the domain that we want to activate call recording in, and as you click on call queues and you add a call queue, let's say we'll name this one sales test. We'll give it an extension, and we'll say round robin. So as we get this far, you'll see here that you can set up call recording on this call queue just by clicking yes. So you can set up call recording on a queue basis. So as we go back to the article, we can set up call recording across the whole domain. We can set up call recording on a call queue. The next level of where we can set up call recording is on a user. So as we go back into the portal, we'll cancel this and we'll go into users. And as we add a user, after we add the user and click on a particular user, let me find, I'll just go to my extension. Click on the user, and on the profile page, you'll see that then we can decide to turn recording on this user. So that's the next level down that we can turn recording on, call recording. We can turn it on at the user level. The next level that we can turn call recording on is at the device level on a user. So as I go back to my user and I go to the Phones tab, I'll see my phones here. And if I click on my my particular device that I want to set up call recording on, we see it here. So this gives you some granularities. Let's say you have an executive that has, a phone on his desk in the office. He has a phone at home. He has a soft phone on his laptop. He has a PBX phone on his iPhone. But he doesn't want the calls recorded on his home phone or the desk at his home, because sometimes he has personal conversations maybe on the weekend on that phone. So this is where you can get some granularity. So you can set up call recording at the device level as well. You decide there. The 5th way that you can activate call recording is with a star code. Star 80 starts call recording and star 81 stops it. Now this is once a call is in place. So while on a call, you press star 80 to start. So I do want to point out the star codes. So here under WebCentrix, you have star codes and features. These are all the different star codes that operate on the platform. So a star 80 activates call recording, a star 81 deactivates it. Now it's during a call. So if you're 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 10 minutes into a call and you want to record some portion of the call, or if you want to record the whole call, you could press star 80 at the beginning and then press star 81 whenever you're done with recording the call. If you just hang up the call, of course it would stop call recording as well. Okay, so back to our document, WebCentrix how-to articles, call recording. Right here. So those are the 5 ways that you can activate call recording. Again, at the domain level, at the call queue level, on a user at the user level, or at the user's device level, different devices. Then you can activate call recording on a per call basis. All right, so let's look at once a call is recorded. So I'll log into the user portal, into my user portal, and I'll navigate to my my account, and I'll click on call history. You can see I'm also set up as a an agent. That gives me the ability to log on and offline. Okay, so here's my call history, and if you look over to the right on any particular call, if you've set up call recording at the user domain level, at the call queue level, at the user level, device level, wherever that call was answered, or let me say it this way, however the call recording was set up, then you'll see the call history here, and you'll be able to see the recording. Now you can download the recording. If I download, it's going to download a WAV file to my device, and I can open that WAV file and then listen to the call. And then I can also just listen in on the call right here by clicking on the listen button and pressing the listen. Okay, so and then the last thing you can do is you can add notes to the call once the call recording has been placed. Now there is disposition and reasons. Now we don't have any in there as defaults. But if you wanted to add a disposition or a reason, or multiple disposition or reasons, then you could open a trouble ticket and request those. Like, if you had a call center that had certain functionality, then they could, have different dispositions or reasons in here, and then they could take a note after the call. Customer was very happy with support with the solution, something along those lines. So you could take a note, you save it. Once you save it and you export, this will export to a spreadsheet, and there's a notes column, and that note for that, when you export these calls, the note or notes for those different calls will be in that column, on the spreadsheet. So you can have notes on calls. So that's how you how you listen to call recordings. That's how you then can download them to your PC. Then once they're in a WAV file on your PC, you could send those to someone else to listen to a call, or you can apply notes. So let me state that we keep calls in call history for up to 30 days. We don't guarantee it, but that's our goal, is to keep calls in call history for 30 days. Now, if you need to keep call recordings longer, we do have a method for doing that. We will transfer calls to Amazon, and you can set up an Amazon storage account, and there's a doc here that discusses setting that up, accessing call recordings from Amazon S3, and here it'll show you how to set up that S3 bucket, and it's separated by domain, so your customers would then be able to access their call recordings through Amazon S3. So if you have a customer that has, in a call center and wants to keep calls longer because they want to use them for training purposes, then we have an option here for keeping your call recordings longer than the 30 days that we're going to keep them within call history. Okay, so back to our doc. So if we go to, we can catch it right here, call recording. Now at the bottom of the doc, what we're going to find is that we've added in some call conditions, call recording conditions. Okay, so you'll see these at the bottom. It'll just help you understand better when call recording occurs. Now, we're pointing out there are two ways you can call any user on the system. You can call their user, which will then follow the answering rules of that user. The default routing is to the user's device. Okay, it's not to the user, it's to the user's device. But if you call their user, which will then follow the answering rules of that user, or you can call the user's device directly, which will ignore the user's answering rules and only ring this specific device. And I want to note that routing to a user in a ring group or a call queue goes directly to the user's device and not to the user. Okay, so that's the default that it's talking about there. Okay, so call recording conditions depend on how the call is routed to the user. So we're giving you three different conditions here. Call recording is activated. Condition 1, call recording is activated on the user and device. So at the user level and on the device. And of course, this is done in two separate screens in the portal. Okay, then these conditions will apply. If in this case you call the user's DID, the call will be recorded. If the call comes in through an auto attendant and then to the user's extension, it will record that call. If it is transferred to the extension, a call transferred to that extension for the user, yes, that call will be recorded. If the call is parked and picked up by another extension, yes, that call will be recorded. If the call is into a ring group to the user in a ring group, then yes, the call will be recorded. And it's recorded in the ring group because of the rule that applies that a routing to a user in a ring group goes directly to the user's device. So if we have call recording on the user and the user's device, it's the call recording on the device that's picking it up in the ring group, the call recording. And then the same thing for the call queue. So that's condition 1. The second condition is if we have call recording activated on the user's user and not on the device of the user. In that case, the call comes in through their DID, and yes, if the DID is routed to the user, that call will be recorded. And yes, if the AA is routed to the user, if they press a button and it goes directly to the user, then that call would be recorded. If the call is transferred to their extension, yes. If the call is parked and picked up by another extension, yes. And if the user's in a ring group, then that call would not be recorded because I only have call recording set up on the user at the user level, not on the device. And the same thing for a call queue. Okay, so that's condition 2. Condition 3 is call recording is activated on the user's device and not on the user. So only on the user's device. In that case, a call comes in through their DID, to their extension. Yes, but only if the answering rules for user are routed to the device. So that call will be recorded, but only if the answering rules for the user are routed to the device. And if you notice, all of these are that condition. Yes, but only if the answering rules for user are routed to the device. And that's in the case of it coming in through a DID, that's the answering rules. If it comes in through an auto attendant, again, if it comes in transferred to that extension, yes, it will be recorded, but only if the answering rules for user are routed to the device. If it's a call part and another extension picks it up, again, yes, but only if the answering rules for user are routed to the device. And then lastly, it's recorded if it's coming into a ring group or a call queue because we have call recording set up on the device. So I know it gets a little tricky, but if you really pay attention to these three different conditions, and the three different conditions are call recording is activated at the user level and the device, or only the user level, or only the device level. So if you see those three and you get this down, then you should be able to understand when call recording is happening. If you have any questions, you can open a ticket at support@skyswitch.com or through our ticket system. Thank you.